Well, good morning, everybody. Well, what I wanted to do was talk about Japanese black pine that is out of balance. I think I've talked to you before, but I think finally there is a good example what I'm talking about. So before I point it out, do you see what I mean by unbalanced? I guess you had enough time to think about it. The best way to read the balance of the tree is look at this candle. Usually this center candle, see here and here, and then as you go up, see how vigorous these are? So if you compare the length of this one and this one here, this is smaller, right? Again, look at the center candles as we go up. You notice that they get longer and heavier. That's what I mean by unbalanced tree. Look how strong it is up on top. And what happens is when you have an unbalanced tree, all the energy is going up to the top. So that if you keep it too long this way, the bottom part will get weaker and weaker, and eventually, well, not often, but it could eventually die. But what we want to do is to keep it balanced. Actually, trying to keep the lower part a little bit stronger than the top is maybe even a better idea. Well, today's subject was what should you do if you always in a hurry or behind schedule. So if you have a situation like this and you're always, or if you're really busy, what you should do is to, well, actually start from the top. See this big center candle? Center candle get removed 99% of the time. So anyway, we remove this, right? And then secondary gets shortened. So what you do is run around and remove the top. So this is not the perfect, but this is kind of a desperate situation when you have too much stuff to do, when you should be out doing the pines at a right time, right? Well, it's one thing to have a schedule and then another to be able to keep it, especially around here. So if I do this top like this, then even if you don't do the bottom, it's okay, because now this part will be stronger, but the natural tendency is for it to get strong up on top. And so you want to keep that top in check. So this is the minimum that you should do if you're way behind schedule. Okay, this is just a review. Typically what we have is the center candle and the secondary. So this center candle gets removed 99.9% of the time. And then this one here, at a certain point, or at this point, you could take and break it off. So this becomes the foliage for the future. And so all these that the center candle should be removed. But down here, they were smaller than up on top, right? So the minimum that is required to maintain this tree is remove the top. The one on the left is not bad. The heavy candles are towards the middle and the top's been kept in check, versus this one here. You can see the upper part is very strong, so let me go ahead and take care of that. So remove the center candle, shorten the secondary. Remove the center candle, shorten the secondary. Wow, it's the same thing over and over again. So remove the center, these are the secondary, so it gets removed. And then there's a big one on the back side, so get that. Now, this is not the recommended method. You should do it like we've been doing, but when you're in a jam, like I am right now, because, well, the pine needs care, but so does the rest of the nursery, right? So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to preserve. Remember our movement and taper? Well, if you let the top gets going and you don't take care of it for a number of years, you could eventually reverse taper. And then these will get weaker and it could actually die. So, yeah, this is sort of the desperate minimum requirement. One of the things you could do is walk around with something like this. Look at this. Everything is almost in balance except for this guy. So just go over there, remove it, right? Up here, we got the center candle that need to get removed. Yeah. So, and then center candle. This one here, the lower branches are really getting strong, which is okay. I can live with this more than the ones with the strong top. Strong top is gotta be kept in check, or you will undo a lot of work that you've done in the past by getting this out of balance for too long. So, yeah, well, there's some more back there, but I don't want to get in front of the camera. But you can see what I'm doing, right? Just make sure you keep the center candle in check. Okay, this one here, I did it intentionally. This one felt like the top was getting a little bit heavier than the bottom. So when you have a situation like that where it's not bad, but the top seems to be a little bit more vigorous, then what you do is you prune the vigorous part and hold off on the part that could gain a little more vigor. So this one here I did about 2 weeks ago, and then now I could go and get the center candle out and then reduce the size of the secondary. So these are techniques that you should understand. So always keep in mind the balance, and you could tell the balance by the length of the candle. Okay, this was a very short chapter, and most of you shouldn't have to do this because you don't have as much tree as I do. If you cannot get to everything in a proper timing, then make sure you take care of the top at least that much, okay? So this is Hiro saying goodbye. This has been how to handle your Japanese black pine when you are running out of time. Okay, see you again real soon.